As we continue our in-depth look at the future of policing, many of the loudest voices calling for change have come from youth leaders.
Boston 25 News reporter Crystal Haynes spoke with 3 teenagers about their honest goals moving forward.
Hi, my name is Brookie Sige, and I'm a first year in college.
19-year-old Brookie Sige is a published author, Harvard University student, and the daughter of Ethiopian immigrants. She organizes around issues of voting rights and civic engagement.
We want better for our siblings.
Brookie was named a presidential scholar in high school, but was denied a picture with President Trump because she wore a t-shirt referencing NFL player Colin Kaepernick.
But what's crazy to me is during that time, that felt like the biggest thing I could do.
My name is Ariana Constant Patton, 17. I go to Boston Collegiate Charter School.
To be an activist, you bear the weight of your community's grief.
17-year-old Ariana Constant Patton is a gun control advocate and youth organizer with Teen Empowerment and March for Our Lives. After losing 2 of her brothers to gun violence, Ariana was among a group of students who interrupted a high-profile gun violence forum featuring the governor and state attorney general.
Young people are leading the movement.
My name is Carrie. I'm 19 years old. I'm a freshman currently at UMass Boston.
19-year-old Carrie Mays has been a longtime advocate in Boston against gentrification, gun violence, and access to youth resources. She formed the Black Boston Network of Young Adults and organized a Black Lives Matter rally that attracted tens of thousands in May.
This is just an ongoing fight that our ancestors, passed off the baton to us.
As we have this conversation about what each one of us can do as part of the civil rights movement, I think about young people mobilizing that many folks just last week in all of this.
As we mobilize these protests and these huge movements, these massive movements, that we have to keep in mind, young people are at the forefront, risking their lives.
At the end of the day, we are the future. And if you're not including youth in the fight for the humanity and the future of humanity, I'm confused as to why you're even fighting.
The social contract of our rights has been broken. We are fighting for our humanity. And it's disappointing that I have to yell at these institutions and just say, I am human.
Driving the message, making sure that the message remains grounded in justice and activism for all people of color, and especially those who are the victims of police brutality.
Stop defunding school education and start focusing more on our systems.
It's not that we're bashing the police, we're bashing the system at which they derive from.
There's a lot of police officers who say they have to take the job of like a social worker, of an educator. And so if we take the resources that they're spending so much money on to do that and actually spend on guidance counselors, etc., and work with police officers to make our community better, that's something that I think both sides, if there is even a both side of this, can come together to work on.
What's the future that you're fighting for?
These politicians will care is if they work for us or they get voted out. And so I think mobilizing students and young people and just the rest of the community to get registered to vote.
We used to open the fire hydrant and use that as a sprinkler. Same neighborhoods where the ice cream truck used to roll around and we was running inside for a couple dollars from our parents. We don't have that anymore. And I'm tired of saying, I miss that, I miss that, I miss that. I want that again. That's what I'm fighting for, the future for young people to be able to go outside and have fun again.
When it comes to the criminal justice system, when it comes to the housing system and gentrification and how Black and brown communities are being pushed out of their neighborhoods, Black Lives Matter when it comes to the school systems and the school to prison pipeline, Black Lives Matter, and so many other areas of society.
So thank you so much for joining me in this conversation. I think it's so important. And I'm grateful for all of you.
Thanks so much for joining us for this Boston 25 News in-depth